Why have Morgan dollars and Peace dollars increased so dramatically lately? And which 2021 silver dollar is going to be worth the most? Stay tuned because we're going to talk about that in this video. But first, here's my website, portsmouthcoinshop.com. And I have silver dollars on the website, and check it out. I have graded coins, and I have some raw coins and a lot of other coins. So check out portsmouthcoinshop.com. So let's approach why Morgan dollars, especially the CCs and some other dates, higher grades like Nasdaq 65 and 63 and 64 have increased in value, as well as the 1921 Peace dollar especially, but even though Peace dollars in general have increased. For one, COVID come along and silver demand increased dramatically. That helps fuel Morgan and Peace dollar sales, silver dollar sales in general, and it kind of has a kaleidoscope effect on everything in numismatics, even currency. So everybody's scrambling to start collecting and do something because they're home. Then the media starts talking about silver shortages, and silver's going to go to the moon, and gold's going to go to the moon, and we have a record gold price last year. And people just get into the collecting, and all of a sudden they realize, or at least as a whole dealers do, that there's not as many silver dollars out there as once thought. I mean, at one time you could fly them all the time and buy them for a cheap price. They had went down in 2017 and 18. But now all of a sudden with the demand, there's just not enough to go around. So then of course prices increase. So it's kind of like a perfect storm that caused this to happen. Then on top of that, the Mint announces the 2021 Peace and the 2021 Morgan dollars. That just put it all together, and now we have this large increase in values this year in the silver and dollars. And it's not a coincidence that that happened this year, because the legislation and also the Mint releasing the 2021 Morgan dollars. So that's the reason for a lot of this. Okay, so knowing that, let's take a look at what some of these are selling for. And I'm going to look at Mint State 70 for the Morgan and the Peace for 2021. The reason I'm doing 70 is that's the highest grade. That's the one that's going to be worth the most if you can get that grade. And we know that nobody has these in hand, so these are all pre-sales. I can't get into why that people can promise 70s, but we're going to find out what happens here. By the time the year ends, we'll know for sure if that was a great idea or if it's going to work out for people or what's going to happen. But once the smoke settles, we'll know the prices. But right now, let's see which one's worth the most. So I go over to, and I'm using eBay. That's the main place for me to see kind of like what's trending in numismatics as far as the new stuff, and that's where you want to sell it. It's the biggest coin auction site. So we have the Peace dollar here, and you can see in Mint State 70 that they're asking $7.95, $7.49, $7.50, or best offer, and you can actually go to sold. When you click on that, then you can see what they've sold for the most part. It looks like $750. $740 in that range is probably about the value of those. You can do the same thing with the CCs. We come down to the sold auctions and see what the CC privy marks are selling for, and we want to make sure you find just one. And here's $6.99, $6.99. So it says best offer. We can't see exactly what they sold for. $7.49 for the CC in an NGC holder. Probably going to be worth more in a PCGS holder if we could find one. Here's one, $725. So we're looking at a little bit less than the 2021 Peace for the CC privy mark. But honestly, we'll not know for sure until the end. We're just kind of guessing. Here's one for $800, and then we can go to the New Orleans, the O privy mark, and we'll go down to the sold auctions here and reveal if any of them have sold lately. And it looks like to me it's set at two, about the same price. Well, it's the same auction. So we're looking for just one, $549. And that's for one in a PCGS holder. That is substantially less. That's $200 less than the other two, the CC and the Peace dollar. So that's kind of expected. I would expect the O Mint not to be worth as much as the Peace or the privy mark for the CC. Then we're going to look at the D and see where it's at. And we'll find the sold values for the D mint mark, the Denver mint mark. And we can see one here, and a PCGS holder pre-sale sold for $4.95. And another one sold for, well, we don't know what it sold for. It is the D mint mark. We want to make sure we're seeing D mint marks. Here's another one. Someone took less than 550. So it looks like the D is not as popular as the CC nor the piece. Here's one for $549.95. Usually they're going to be worth more in the PCGS holder. Not always, but for the most part, if they're in 70. Then we can go to the San Francisco, and we'll take a look at the sold auctions there. And we're looking at the S and the D. Let's see, this the S. Make sure it's the S mint mark here. 500 for both of them. Now these, like I said, they're pre-sales. Things can change in the future. There might be less 70s. Once the smoke settles, you'll know for sure. But here's one that actually sold for $899.99. So really, it's not a great indicator of what's more valuable. $549.95, $549.95. So still yet, not as much as the CC or the 21 piece. So let's take a look at just the Philadelphia, no mint mark, which is, they didn't put mint marks on the piece dollars or the Morgan dollars from Philadelphia. So we're looking at $495, and yet again, it's about on par with the D and the S and the New Orleans. And pretty much that's what we're seeing. I'm trying to find one that just has the no mint marks. You have to watch out because some of these auctions are for two different ones. So I want to make that distinction. It says 2 coins here, but this is 1 coin for $4.95, and it might be worth the least out of all of them. Plus, I think the privy mark for the O mint is going to be the least. So let's go back to the piece dollar. So we're looking at a consistent $740 to $750 in what we've seen that's sold. That is the, for the piece dollar. When we go over to the CC with the privy mark, and we're looking at, some of them are 800, 769, 770. So it looks like to me, potentially, the CC Privy Mark 2021s are going to be the most valued. They might edge out the piece, which, I don't know, kind of surprises me because I think the 2021 piece might take over, but there's a higher mintage of those. But if there's less 70s out there, they might increase in value, and that's going to happen when all the grading and everything settles out beginning of next year. We'll know for sure, and we'll be able to maybe revisit this and see which one actually fared the best. Looks like the Philadelphia issue, no mint mark, and the O privy mark is going to be the least of the least. That's what it looks like to me, but you never know. So anyways, I thought I'd do this video, a little interesting. Thanks for watching. Please hit the bell, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell as well if you get all notifications, and have a great day.